It's all about politics, health, education, finance, and more.
From the Accountant General's office, was it released to the account of the Ministry of Women Affairs, yes or no?
Policymakers dishing out policies that shape our society.
No provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
The newsmakers constantly come into the front burner of daily conversations.
We're a democratic country. People have rights under the Constitution to express themselves freely under freedom of speech. They have also rights to peacefully protest.
And the game changers changing the game and narratives.
We don't want to go into that. Let other Nigerians also go and do it because we are not the only Nigerians here.
Join Oluwatayo Ajewole every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to noon as he brings the major national issues to the table and set the conversation rolling on the program Periscope on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Periscope, a program designed to keep you abreast on current happenings in our society. You can't afford to miss it.
A wonderful morning to you wherever it is you're listening to us from omoluwabi 87.7 FM. And you're welcome to another interesting edition of the program Periscope right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. We are the voice of integrity. Like I always say, you can always count on us anytime, any day, anywhere, wherever it is you are. Yeah, it is 7.7 FM, the voice of integrity, isn't it? We are omoluwabi 7.7 FM, the station that brings you the best in news, talk, and of course music. Right here in the city of Ibadan. We are situated on the hills of Mokola in the city of Ibadan, the capital city of Oyo State. Welcome to another interesting edition of the program Periscope right here on omoluwabi 7.7 FM. You know how we do it on the program, yeah? We bring you some of the state and national issues and we bring them to the front burner for the conversation. We discuss about them. Yeah, we talk about them. You also get to be a part of the program. When time comes, we open the phone lines for you to join the conversation. And then this time, you also get to be a part of the program on Facebook. We open the phone lines. We open the Facebook page is open for you to drop your comments this morning at omoluwabi 7.7 FM. You can drop your comments at omoluwabi 7.7 FM. We are streaming live on Facebook this morning. All right, my name is Oluwatayo Ajewole, and I'm reporting for duty today, the 13th day in the month of August 2024. How are you doing this morning? Trust you're good. Like I said in the morning, we'll be coming back again at 11 a.m. To bring you some other salient national issues as regards what's going on around in the nation. And this morning is not going to be an exemption because we are ready and set for you to bring you the latest happenings across the nation, and some probably across across the world too. But then let's limit it to the nation this morning because we have a lot to discuss this morning. And then I'm going to be starting from the home front. We're going to start from news that are trending across the nation this morning. Starting from the home front this morning, we are starting with this particular news. This particular news as regards it's been a controversial news for a very few for some few weeks now. It's been some back and forth between some certain set of individuals and the government, and then we thank God that it's become a thing of the past now, and then both parties have reconciled this morning. What am I talking about? But then before I read out the news this morning, let me introduce my guest on the program, my analyst on the program this morning. I have with me in the studio, Comrade Omoji. Good morning, Comrade.
Many thanks for having me. It's my pleasure to be here this morning.
All right, let's start with from the home front, rather, with the news trending from across the nation this morning. Talking about the saga with Olubadan of Ibadan land and the former governor of Oyo State, Chief Adewale Ladoja. It was reported in the news that the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Omoluwabi Olakunleyin, has formally represented the ceremonial beaded crown to High Chief Rashidi Ladoja, the former governor of Oyo State, and the newly appointed Otun Olubadan of Ibadan land. The prestigious ceremony took place at the Olubadan Palace in Okearemo yesterday in Ibadan, making a significant milestone in the traditional hierarchy of Ibadan land. The prestigious ceremony took place yesterday, like I said, and the staff of office was presented to the governor by the deputy governor of Oyo State, representing the governor of Oyo State, had Engineer Seyi Makinde yesterday, and then they're saying that has marked a milestone in the history of Ibadan yesterday, with Chief Ladoja getting the ceremonial beaded crown yesterday as the new as an Oba yesterday. He's not the new. He used to be the Otun of Olubadan, but probably still the Otun of Olubadan. I don't understand how the do such how they perform their rights as regards that one. But then congratulations to Senator Chief Rashidi Adewale Ladoja, the former governor of your state, now an Oba. He's now an Oba. Rashidi Adewale Ladoja he's now an Oba as a speaker, because there was so many back and forth surrounding that incident. Comrade Omoji, you have something to say as regards that?
Yoruba people have been saying that ìjòyè lè pe méjì láàfin ọba òun pe méjì. So I don't know his kingdom, the sense ceremonial. I wouldn't know what that implies actually. I don't know, because it's to me a phenomenon. Having him, crowned as Oba. Maybe some of the custodians of culture should explain his domain, as in his kingdom, and the significance of this. So personally, I don't know much about how the arrangement of this, what it represents and what it's all about. So where is his kingdom, and which area is he now Oba over? Why we still have the substantive Oba. So I really don't understand.
But then it was a substantive Oba that presented it with that crowned him an Oba yesterday as we speak. And then people are saying that's another piece setting achievements by the Ibadan people yesterday. There's always been setting pace. If we've known Ibadan as setting the pace. But many Ibadan indigents to say that's another event to set the pace for others to follow. What's your thoughts?
But do we have a precedence for this? Maybe at a particular time in the past, such happened, or is just a new development within the within the space of Ibadan monarchy. So I really don't know, and I'm particular about his domain now, because you must have a jurisdiction of which you are, Oba over the domain. Okay, maybe now this is your kingdom, this is your own space. So I really don't understand the significance. Maybe somebody out there will bail us out concerning the significance of this, or do we have a precedent, or it's just a new, phenomenon within the hierarchy?
But okay, maybe some other times, some other people probably we're able to get through to the new Oba. If you come explain to us as regards where he's actually ruling over. But then we have so many Obas in Ibadan as we speak. We have a lot of them. So all the high chiefs in Ibadan are currently being crowned as Oba. They are Obas in Ibadan as we speak. So again, congratulations to the new Oba Rashidi Adewale Ladoja.
Indeed, congratulations.
All right, let's check some other stories this morning. All right, we're still talking about trending national issues this morning, and then on the program Periscope right here on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM, and then we're going to be talking about something very special too this morning. Talking about the just concluded End Bad Governance protest that's we just finished probably a few days ago. Someone is speaking this morning and she's saying there was a language lost in translation during the last protest. That's coming from Musawa. She's saying the government and the protesters were saying the same thing, but it seems as though there were different things that they were saying. She's saying that the government is saying the same thing as the protesters, saying that the government is saying, probably the government knows that they are supposed to do some few things, and then the people are also asking, these are the things we expect you to do as a government. Musawa, that's coming from Anatu Musawa, the Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. She's speaking this morning. I would love us to listen to what she has to say this morning as regards what we are talking about this morning, saying the government and the people are saying the same thing, and then probably they do not. There's a missing link as we speak this morning.
I think that twofold. The unity aspect that you speak about. So let me, and then come back to the last part that you spoke about. I think the unity aspect in this ecosystem or within this space is not a problem, because what you do find is the one thing that really unites us as a people is our arts. Is our music, is our fashion, is just our expression as a people. So for me, I do not find that divide when it comes to addressing people within this space. Perhaps being the Minister of Art, Culture and Creative Economy, no matter where I go, because the issue of music, it resonates with people no matter what community, as the unity aspect. What I find is wherever I go, I have that acceptability because I'm representing a part of Nigeria that resonates with Nigerians generally. So that part of the unity is not something that we have a problem with, and I want to leverage on that to see whether we can tap and cultivate this space.
All right, Comrade Omoji, you heard that from the Minister of Creative Arts there speaking this morning, talking about unity and everything that surrounds it. She's saying she went further in that voicing that we couldn't get to play all of what she said. She's saying the government and the people are saying the same thing as we speak as regards the last protest that we experienced in the country. She's saying a lot of things happened, and then at the same time we still have this unifying force amongst all of us, that the government is listening to the people, and the government is also saying the same thing as what the people are saying. Will you agree with that?
The government and the people are saying the same thing. She's a spokesperson for the government. She's government representative. So there's what we call, propaganda, plain folk in journalism, trying to do PR in a way, being a spin doctor. I wouldn't expect less actually from her, but I must tell you that the reality out there is that our language is different, because we have said it time and again on this platform that many a times our government embarks on what we call what is termed the felt need. They just sit down in Abuja and just feel, okay, let us just change our national anthem without due consultation, without proper consultation. I think, okay, tomorrow, I think we should have a coastal highway from Lagos to, to the south or, to the eastern part of the country. Felt needs. Let us just see how we can get a private jet, presidential jet, new one for the president. Let us just see how we buy, brand new SUVs for the legislators, even though some of them we have argued here that they do virtually nothing. Let us see how we, go on, on some excursion abroad. Let's go and watch a Chelsea match. You know, people are here talking about. Now, the language is totally different. People on the street are saying, we are hungry. Is the minister that just spoke now hungry?
But then she said, what she's hammering on, what she hammered on rather, was that the government also understands the plight of the people. And then can't we just give the government the benefit of the doubt that they currently understand what the people are currently facing as we speak?
You know, there's a saying that says, action speaks louder than voice.
But the government have acted a lot of. Just yesterday, the president inaugurated some 30 CNG buses to ease transportation for Nigerians.
Very fantastic.
The president announced at some point that people can now buy bags of rice for 40,000.
Very wonderful.
At some point, the president also rolled out some initiatives as regards skill up for the youth and creating some creative industry for youth to engage. And don't you think the government is up and doing? Shouldn't we give this government the benefit of the doubt?
Wow. Is it on your mark, get set, go?
Haven't they started moving already?
No, there is a timeline. And we are almost 2 years into, this first tenure of this government.
Probably there was they met a lot of rot on ground.
You may have met a lot of rot on ground, but don't aggravate it.
Are they aggravating it?
How much did this government meet a bag of rice when they came? Let's probably say 40,000.
Coming as we speak now in this all over the world, we have inflation battling the world economy.
Yet Nigerians are still japa. If it's that bad over there, would they go?
Nigeria sell their Nigeria still japa probably because they felt there's a greener pasture over there. But then if you interview some of the Nigerians that have japa, so to speak, they will still complain to you. They will still tell you the same thing that we are talking about here.
It can't be this bad to the point that you'll be queuing up in filling stations almost on a daily basis. You'll be buying food. Is virtually nothing over there. Let's be sincere. But Nigerians are just talking about food here. Nigerians are not saying government buy us this, buy no. The most basic, function of government, which is provide security, provide, infrastructure, provide good roads. Let us have access to electricity. Very most basic. These are the things that Nigerians are suffering from. If it's like that over there, many of them will not be queuing up, paying for visa fees right here in some embassies in Nigeria just to go. I tell you the truth. Some I know have wonderful jobs here, but for security reasons, for instability in government, many of them have traveled.
But then the president, this current government will tell you that this has been for a very long period of time. I can't just correct it under 1 hour or within just few days, rather.
Now, I would have sympathized with this government if it had not gone worse under them. I know there were rots before they came in, but like the saying in Yoruba that now.
So what are you insinuating?
What I'm insinuating at the moment is that if you've not been able to mend it, don't worsen it. And that is the experience that we have seen under this government. Because how do you explain a price, dollar to naira, when this government came in, maybe around 400 naira thereabout, to 1,005 and more? That is outrageous. That to me is lack of efficiency in some quarters. And we have said it time and again that this government should look for help, even outside of its own party. We are talking about governance here, not politics anymore. So I would have agreed to some extent that things have been bad, but if this government had been able to maintain it around what it meant, I would say, okay, let's still give him time. But under you, from 40,000 a bag of rice, we are now buying 80. Now, you mentioned some, things that government have done. I want to ask you, how many of such have you been part of? Okay, have you been able to buy 40,000 a bag of rice? How many people that are surrounding you have been beneficiaries of some of these, rhetoric that this government is.
You know, the government came on board and said you cannot buy bags of rice. Civil servants should go and register. But then it was fun. Eventually, many Nigerians are. I think this is another conversation for this cause. I've always been saying this. It's not about the government alone. It's about all of us as a nation. It's all about all of us as a people in the country. We all have our roles to play as a civil servant, as a private, as an entrepreneur.
Good.
You have a role to play. The government brought out this initiative to sell bags of rice at 40,000 naira. Okay. But then we still have some certain set of people that are sabotaging the efforts of the government. As a matter of fact, this initiative by the federal government of Nigeria was suspended last week due to the fact that some certain of people were rebagging the rice and they were reselling to other people.
Most unfortunate. Now, why do we have the law enforcement agencies? Why do we have the judiciary arm of government? Now, every society, there is a potential criminal in every society. What checks them is the system in place that, if I'm caught, this is the repercussions, these are the consequences. Now, if certain people have been, nabbed, I don't know whether certain group of people have been arrested in that regard, what are they doing to them to serve as deterrent to others who may want to do that? So it's not just enough to say some group of people. After all, there are people that you give some of these things to. You call them. What we gave you, what happened to them? Have you been able to distribute them? It's not just to say, you give certain bags of rice to some people and it just ends that way. You know the implication of such on your profile as a government. So if there is any issue around what you have, distributed to certain agencies to give to the people, then you ask questions. So the problem still lies with the government. Government should, as a matter of urgency, wield its power. If you have power to checkmate some excesses, corruption in the system, if you are truly, interested in fighting corruption, who is the head in that parastatal where you give those rights? Call for the person. In fact, bring the person, let investigation, follow suit. So it's not just enough to say, some Nigerians, every society has a potential criminal, but the system there checkmates them.
All right, let's move on to some other stories this morning. Let's check this last one before we go into our main conversation for the day. The spokesperson of the Nigerian police force came up yesterday and said that they didn't talking about the invasion of the NLC headquarters last week. The police are saying that this morning that the police didn't go to the actual office of the NLC, but to the floor leased out to a person suspected of being a dangerous international criminal. According to the spokesperson, he's saying we have spoken to security staff in the building, and they have been of immense help to them, rather to us, okay? And in due time, we will let the public know our findings and identify the individuals concerned. Last week, some news circulated last week that the Nigerian police had armed the men, rather, so to speak, invaded the headquarters of the Nigerian Labour Congress. And as a matter of fact, the police spokesperson, Miwa Adejobi, came on last week, and he said, came on yesterday evening, rather, in a television program, and he said we didn't just go there to invade the NLC. As a matter of fact, he said that the NLC secretariat is not just housing the NLC alone. As he's saying, it's a shopping complex that the NLC also had to lease out to some other individuals for usage. And he's saying that there's a certain criminal elements that have acquired that have gone to the NLC secretariat to rent
acquire property.
No, not acquire the property, so to speak. Okay. He has rented an apartment there for usage as an office. But then, and then they are saying they've been watching these certain individual, the criminal element. They're just like the police public relations officer said yesterday, and then they've been noticing him for a while, and they realized that he is domicile in that environment, in that complex. And they say, let's listen to the police PPRO as he speaks on this.
In this country, let's clarify certain issues. Use of words is the greater cause of error. The NLC as a body has a property called NLC, that is Labour House, and I'm sure you know the NLC sublets some of the major rooms, major shops and outlets within the complex to individuals. The made to know is 10th floor, and the NLC Secretariat is on the 10th floor. The 10th floor, that's 10th floor. And we are discussing national security. We have been working on a particular man who has been a global criminal, not only a threat to Nigeria or African continent, but to the whole world. And incidentally, with our scientific analysis of certain information about this man, we discovered that he's on the 2nd floor of the Labour House. And with the nature of the case, whether there is any authority or no authority, is a coordinated operation, not only the Nigeria Police Force. But we take the lead when it comes to the issue of internal security. We have been able to have a coordinated operation. The team comprising many security operations, joint operation, well coordinated.
All right, you listen there, Commodore Mojo, to the police public relations officer, Miwa Adejobi, speaking there, saying that there was a criminal element that have been that they've been trailing for a very long time, and they realized that he has an office domicile in that complex, on the 2nd floor to be precise. He's saying that same complex has saying it's a 10-story building, and the NLC Secretariat is on the 10th floor. He's saying they didn't get to the NLC Secretariat. Some set of people came out last week and saying probably that was the invasion was related to the protest that went down last week. And then, but then the police PPRO is coming out to say, no, we have someone that we are trailing in that building, that particular building, and then we don't have a choice than just to invade that building. And then they also ask the question, why would you be performing such acts at that particular hour? You're talking about you wanting to catch a criminal element going there at the midnight. So many questions to ask as you guys are coming to Moji. What's your take on that?
You know, we are governed by law. And let me give kudos to the spokesman of the police, well spoken. And, we've often advocated on this platform for, open discussions, engagement, advocacy, and clarification. And this is what the man just did. Though, because Labour happens to be, in a way, an opposition party, there was this insinuation then that, okay, maybe government of the day is still trying to, hound Labour or frustrate Labour. And that is why I love this clarification. There is a criminal element according to them. The last time this issue came up, we talked about proper investigation regarding this. And I still want to believe the investigation is what revealed what the spokesperson of the police just talked about. And I believe the investigation is still ongoing. If there is any suspected criminal anywhere around the nation of Nigeria, the police, as authority vested with, engaging in enforcement of law and order, they have a duty, to get that person, even if it is in the wee hour, as long as they have their, what do they call it, search warrant or whatever. So, just as he said, if that time is when you know that you can get this man arrested, why not? So, to me, let the public, be aware that this is the intention and the purpose for which the police went to that Labour building. And they said they didn't even get to the 10th floor, which houses Labour office. But that the man, occupies the 2nd floor of the building. So that clarifies that. And I still want to use this medium to, tell the ruling government that information like this, clarification like this, will quickly douse tension. Otherwise, there will be insinuations out there and all manner of things, will filter around. So it's a good thing for that clarification. Kudos to the spokesperson of the police.
All right, that's that on that as regards trending national issues this morning. Let's move on very quickly this morning because we'll be talking about something very important. Yesterday was the National Youth Day, and then we will be having a conversation around that this morning as regards the roles of youths in the current national configuration of Nigeria. What are the expectations of the youths? What are the youth expected to do at this point in time? What is the government doing basically to make sure that they carry the youthful population along in the day-to-day activity of the nation? We'll be right back after this short commercial break. We'll discuss more as regards that. Do not go anywhere. This is Periscope right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. We'll be back after this short time out.
The voice of integrity, omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
Hello, with everybody for you.
My Sabi people, how una dey? Na Sabi people dey listen to Sabi Radio. Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM, na dem be Sabi Radio.
Bàbá tẹ̀lẹ́ni tó mọ̀nà wọ̀kúwọ́kú nìrìn àjò ayé ẹni rọ ni.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Then you need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Then stay in power, you find it all in peak. Then every move you make, Peak's got you all the way. And the beat goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak Protein Breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Wait. Mama Comfort, where you dey go? You just dey rush.
Mama John, I won't go open my shop. I need plenty sales today. I won't go market soon.
Mama Comfort, shey you don hear about Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM? Then they do advert for businesses where we say your market go sell wara. You sef go dey happy.
You mean am? How I go reach them now?
You fit call them on 090-5339-5550. Then go explain to you wella and their charge no dey break back.
Mama Comfort, e go better for una. Omoluwabi Radio, I dey come o.
Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Fresh news, best talk, hot music, where else?
Omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
All right, you are welcome back to Periscope right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM, and you're sitting to omoluwabi 87.7 FM, the voice of integrity, the station that brings you the best in news, talk, and of course music. We are live this morning on Facebook at omoluwabi 87.7 FM, omoluwabi 87.7 FM. We are currently live on Facebook. You can drop your comments and thoughts as regards some of the things we've discussed this morning. We're going straight into some other conversations this morning, some other discussions this morning, and then we'll be talking about something very important. They said the youthful population of any nation is the asset of such a nation. And then we're asking the question this morning: are we being engaging the Nigerian youths? I'm a youth too, but then this question just have to come from. Yesterday was the International Youth Day, and then we are bringing this conversation this morning. We want to know. We want to have a conversation around this. How well as the government have been harnessing the youthful population of the country as we speak. Comrade Omoju, yesterday was International Youth Day, and then the protests that shook Nigeria just about 2 weeks ago till last week was mainly the people who could see during the protests, the front bearers during the protests were youths. Don't you think this is speaking a huge volume as we speak at this point in time? What's your take on this?
Sometimes ago, a man was talking with me, an elderly man, and he looked at what he experienced while growing up and what we are subjected to, at the moment in the country as youth. And he said, I sympathize with the youth of this country. When I was in school, so amount of money I used to get. Before I finished school, 2 jobs were already waiting for me with a Bintu. There was this car then that they used to call B2.
Volkswagen.
Yes. So that, according to him, he confessed that life was relatively easy then. I still remember when my dad, traveled to the UK. He said then that if you travel, they will see you as, you want to go and suffer in cold. Such was the mentality. What are you going there to do?
But then we now have so many youths trying to jackpot as we speak. Many have jackpot already.
It's so terrible. And why? Let me tell you something. This country is so blessed. This country indeed is green, but leadership deficit. The people that are going, if you give them a level playing field here, some opportunities here that are not only meant for the oligarchy and the aristocrat in this country, you will find them here. Unfortunately, it is the quality population of our youth that we are losing to that outside world.
Coming to Moji, you talked about level playing ground. And I've always been asking the question, what do we really mean by level playing ground as we speak? Because if you check the whole world as a whole, there's never been a level playing ground for everybody. You have to probably just have some people have opportunities and they make use of the opportunities and then they get away with it. But then when we talk about level playing ground, and then you ask the question, is the ground really plain?
The ground may not be completely plain, but there is what we call fairness. There's nothing called equality, but equity, justice. Meaning, what is good for the good is also good for the ganja. Yeah. In a situation where, when I was in Abuja, I don't want to mention the ministry now. That ministry, and that is the way it is across board. You must, so when you begin to talk or engage with people, members of staff within that ministry, they will tell you, my uncle is this. My father once worked there. My aunt is so person. Meaning that a group of people feel that certain ministries and certain positions are their birthright. And that is why, as they are living, they are putting their children. There was a time when President Obasanjo, when he was president, Yaba Obasanjo was first of all commissioner in Ogun State and later senator. Now, she's a Nigerian. But what am I trying to say? Is it the same privilege and the level playing field that she was given that others, so to speak, the dregs, the commoners, is it the same level playing field that such people were given? That is how many times have you heard of NMPC or DPR wants to employ Have you ever seen it on newspaper?
But then in recent times, you've seen some of these establishments advertising on the national TV and then the newspapers as we speak. I could remember as we speak currently. Probably this should be an information for the youths as we speak at this point. The NNPC is currently employing. It's all over the newspaper and it's all over the. I've seen it and I've read it and I've seen the advert on TV too.
Praise God for that. Now, maybe because of some of the noise that we make here, but if that is the truth, because it has not been so over time, that we now have CBN, NNPC, DPR, some of these big parastatals now advertising for employment for general Nigerians, I still want to say that at the long run, the way things are run in this country, somebody will still have to bring one endorsement somewhere to be able to scale through. That is the challenge that we have.
So, Commander Module, let's going forward. What is the future of the Nigerian youth?
The future of the Nigerian youth is engagement. How do I mean? Nigerian youth, because of the way things are and because of the severe corruption that we have in the system, some have even left schools. Some have seen schools, as why are you wasting your time? So they just dabble into.
You don't have to go to. You don't have to be educated to be successful in life. You don't have to go to be a university graduate. Let me put it that way. To be successful in life, many people have their opinion.
You don't. Education does not.
You don't need this university certificate, so to speak.
That does not automatically guarantee success or doing well.
As a matter of fact, you can even confirm that on the street. You see so many people riding Okada and they will tell you, I don't know if you have experienced this. And the Okada rider will tell you, I used to be a graduate. I used to be a student of so school and I'm a graduate of so.
And the way they speak, you hear that.
Exactly.
It is true. But what education does is there's a way you are able, whatever you now find yourself doing later in life, there's a way you are able, it reforms you, social interaction, the kind of, relationship that you have. That's what it does, apart from, okay, maybe you get a job and there's a way you behave. And that is why they often say it has been found worthy in character and learning. Because education is supposed to mold your character. There's a way you are supposed to talk. There's a way you are supposed to relate with the people. And that is what sets the difference from somebody just dabbles and maybe engages in business and he makes money. There's a way he will still misbehave that. Somebody will know that this person needs. So we need all of these. And unfortunately, some of this youth population are being discouraged because of the challenges in the system. And that's why I said the issue of loan, that the federal government said they will be giving student loan. To me, is my opinion, is a misplaced priority. I still believe that those who have graduated are supposed to be taken care of first, to be able to encourage those who are coming. Because by the time you have population that are wandering the street, they are not engaged, no entrepreneurship skills for them, and they are still a burden to the society. Those ones that you think you are giving loans, probably will just go out there at the end of the day, nothing for us.
All right, we'll be bringing in some youths. I'm a youth too, but then probably I might not be able to speak the minds of everyone to speak at this point in time. We'll bring in some core members into the studio very soon to come talk and share their own thoughts and opinions as regards to what they really want from the government and how they've been contributing their own quarter to the system. This is Periscope on omoluwabi, the 7.7 FM. All right, this is Periscope reality on omoluwabi, the 7.7 FM. And now we are talking about youth inclusion in the Nigerian society. Many are saying we are not making good use of the youthful population as a country. Many are saying youth are wasting away. And if you check the last protest, the just concluded bad governance protest in the country, you realize that majority of those that participated in the protest were youths. And then you see so many youths around the streets of Nigeria. At some point, I was having a conversation with an elderly person, and then he was like, you see youths all around the country very early in the morning. Many of them did nothing, and then these guys have a lot of they have a lot of talents within them, and they have a lot of things to do. But then it seems the society is not engaging them at this point in time. Coming to Moju, what do you expect the government to do at this point in time as regards the Nigerian youths?
The National Youth Service Corps should be rebranded, number one, to be highly engaging and full of entrepreneurship skills. You know, many of them that probably were not trained as teachers, that they now post into some of these, secondary schools earning 10,000, 15,000 a month. Many of them should be engaged within that camp for that year to earn a skill in addition to what they have learned in school. And instead of the loan that they gave to those who are still in school, should be, okay, you have been trained in this, take this 1 million, take this 2 million, and start something. By the time government does that in 2-3 years, significant number of the youth would have been meaningfully engaged.
All right,
my view.
Let's hear from the youth this morning. Can you please use your microphone and use the headset, please, this morning? Okay, we want to hear from the user. I've got with me Hope, I've got with me Tosin, and I've got with me Ibioluwa. Kemi is also in the studio with us. She's not a core member, but she's a youth. She'll be speaking too. I have Hope, Tosin, and Ibioluwa, all youth core members. They are all core members, just like you made mention of the NYC just some few moments ago. And I want to be listening. We'll be hearing from them this morning. All right, let me start with TB. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. You're Nigerian youths. You are a serving corps member in Nigeria.
Yes, I am.
As a Nigerian youth, what are the challenges you've been going through?
Firstly, the challenges I've been going through, I would say with our minimum wage.
Minimum wage. What's wrong with the minimum wage?
We were hearing that we're going to collect 3,000. Then later we are hearing 77, and later we are hearing it has not been implemented and all. So, yes.
Don't you think probably the government should create a more a friendly environment for you to thrive in the country?
Yes. And again, I feel another challenge is taking people far from their places or from their residence to go and serve is something to talk about also.
All right, I'll come back to you, Hebi. Let me talk to Tosin this morning. Tosin, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well.
Okay, what do you think are the challenges of the Nigerian youths in relating to you personally this morning?
Okay, some of the challenges that youth are facing is the employment. And also, there are some policies that are not helping those that try to create jobs for themselves, like the entrepreneurs. There are some policies that are affecting them. They are not making them even thrive in that aspect of them creating a job opportunity for themselves. And also, the economy is not pleasing. It's more like the more we are making the money, we are just using it to eat and survive. It's more like youth are working to survive. They are not doing extra aside trying to survive. At some certain age, we should be able to accrue some certain wealth, have some certain things to ourselves.
But as you speak now, you don't have some certain things that you're supposed to have.
Yes, and that's due to the economic issue that we have and the fact that getting jobs is not as easy as it used to be.
So you want the government to provide jobs and to create an enabling environment for you to thrive?
Actually, yes,
okay, that's it. I'll come back to you to let me speak to Hope this morning. Hope, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well too. Okay, what do you think? What are the challenges of Nigerian youths in relations to you as we speak this morning?
Well, I feel like Tosin has said it all. Nigerian youths are not included we're mostly left out, and the system is not an environment where youth can thrive. For example, you go to school, you are told that when you go to school, you come out and then you can flourish after and have a better life. But there are no jobs, like Tosin said. And even when you go the extra mile, get a skill, learn something, the system will still take from you. Let's even leave that aside. Let's talk about politics. We're not included in any way. The only time we try to protest and be like, okay, we want to be involved now. You know what happened with the Lekki toll gate and all. So we're not involved, we're not included. It's like they don't have us.
So you feel the youth should be more included. You need inclusion at this point in time.
Yes, we should.
All right, let me come back to EB. What do you think government should do at this point?
Firstly, the government should consider the youth. You know, we ask ourselves, what next after NYSC? One challenge or one problem that is faced with most youth of today is after NYSC, they don't know what.
Most youth are usually confused.
Yes. So now, I feel the government should just provide enough jobs for the youth. Then they should take our interests into consideration.
What are the interests of the Nigerian youth?
Our interests that I can say,
probably creating more jobs and creating an environment for entrepreneurs to thrive.
Exactly, like building seminars, building workshop.
Probably creating some kind of fellowship, sponsor students on scholarships around the world. All right, let me come back to Tosi this morning. What do you think the government should do to make sure that we make use of our youthful population in the country?
Okay, one thing the government should do, they should let us feel secure, because even some of the youth that try as much as possible to get themselves like into business and they're able to amass some certain wealth, they get harassed because the older ones feel that you are too young to own a car, you are too young to have this kind of apartment to yourself. They feel like you are too young to do this. They should believe in us and they should let us feel secure in our country, that even though we are being like this, we can get this done. We should feel safe that okay, and be happy that okay, we have this.
So you want security?
Yes, we want security, and we want the politicians, our government and people that are older than us to believe in us that okay, yes, there are some certain things we are capable of doing even without the government.
All right, let me take Hope's reaction as regards that. What do you want the government to do for the Nigerian youth?
Okay, so you did mention something about fellowship and sponsorship and stuff like that. I feel like it's not as if those things are not there, but are we really benefiting from it? The government have made it in such a way that those are platforms for them to embezzle money. So we want transparency. Actually, I think that's what the youth, I'm speaking for myself, and I think other people can.
You're speaking for yourself, but then I can tell you are sharing the mindset, you are sharing what's on the mind of many Nigerian youth.
That's what we need.
All right, let's bring in Kemi too to come share her thoughts. Kemi is not a youth, she's an ESCOM member. She just finished service I think about a month ago, and she has something to say too. Kemi, please come to the microphone. Okay. What do you expect? What do you think the government should do for the Nigerian youth as we speak at this point in time, Kemi?
Okay, my name is Kemisola Minat Bello, and what I think the government should do, considering what we're facing now, is that government should just try and help with the youth, because things are very difficult as we're speaking, and most especially the promise, even during before I went for service, we've been hearing that they've increased the minimum wages, and up till now, well, some people were very lucky that okay, I'm very glad, I'm very happy to be serving this period, and unfortunately we are hearing some other things whereby they said they are not even giving us this.
Kemi, let me cut you short. Kemi, you're an entrepreneur. You do some kind of small business, and then how has it been being an entrepreneur as a youth in Nigeria?
Honestly, it's in fact. During let me just give for example, I started doing that because the minimum wages is nothing. I served in Akure, and the transportation fees is nothing to even talk about. So that has been helping me. My side business has been the one helping me.
Your side business has been helping you. So yes. Has it been easy?
It has not been easy. No business has been easy.
The environment, so to speak, is it not choky, as some certain set of people will say?
No, but I do face some challenges while selling this because I sell kuli and kilishi, but it's challenging honestly because I can remember I went to one organization and those people were like, you this girl, why are you into selling kuli and kilishi? I was like, is kuli not a food, or is it a bad thing to set up myself, or what do you think? Okay, fine, if you have any other better idea, then you can just give me. Because why are you talking back at what I'm doing? Because it's not from your money. So those are the challenges I face sometimes.
Okay, coming about you here, the Nigerian youth. These are core members and an ex-core member speaking there. What we drive from this point, from one of their points rather?
Essentially speaking, their own is not an exception. It's still boils down to the bad economic situation that we have in the country, because as youth, they are part of the population of this country. As elderly ones, you are part of the population of this country, and all of us are in all these things together. So what we are saying is that, number one, this economy needs to be revamped immediately. We need to revamp this economy. The inflation rate, the way it's galloping, I don't know the term to use, is terrible. Then above all, I think what should be the focus of the youth is not necessarily increase in certain wages or salaries, but that the value of whatever you have, what is the value? What can that thing do? By the time you say, I want this, I want that, tomorrow the money is more or less useless. Okay,
we need to go on the program this morning. Let's see if you can pick one call. 07047 007999, 07047 007999. You can also call us on 08053888933, 08053888933. Those are the studio lines to call to be a part of the program this morning. Youth inclusion in the Nigerian society. How has it been? Has it been fear? Has the Nigerian society been fear to the Nigerian youth? We have JG on Facebook saying good morning. Good morning to you too. All right, my studio manager is signaling to me that I need to leave the studio this morning. All right, call members. Say your goodbyes this morning, Ibi.
It was nice talking to you. Thank you. Bye.
All right, okay. Youth, Tosin, what do you have to say?
I would just like to say that we want to be included in everything that concerns us.
All right, very quickly.
Well, they've said it all. I hope that our government can create a platform where the youth can benefit.
Okay. All right. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Ayo from Ibadan. My contribution very brief is that the whole system is corrupt. The whole system is fraud. This system is not working. Nothing as in it is corruption, sir. Youth life is not is taken away. You go to another country, you will see that you are being left behind. Gone, it's a scam. The wrong people are the one and the hand of the authority. Everything is corruption, sir. Corruption.
Thank you very much. You've made points this morning. All right, Komido Moju, thank you for being a part of the program this morning.
Man, thanks for having me.
All right, and that's all we'll be able to take on the program this morning. My name is Oluwataya Joel, and I'm signing out this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
The voice of integrity on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. It's midday on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
Good afternoon and welcome to News at Noon on Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM. I am Stephanie Bamigboye. Civil servants threaten to shut down the 14 states on minimum wage. Russian flag, Police move suspects to Abuja, planned sedation charges. On the foreign scene, Musk claims Trump interview targeted by cyber attack. And from the world of sports, Haaland, Palmer, Foden nominated for PFA Players Player of the Year award. These and many more stories will be coming your way shortly, right after this timeout. Stay tuned. The Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, ASCSN, has threatened to stop the activities of states that refuse to implement the 70,000 new national minimum wage. President of the association, Shehu Mohammed, gave the threat yesterday during the association's 5th Quadrennial Delegates Conference in Lagos, where he emerged as the new president. According to him, the state governments could achieve this by reducing wastages and blocking leakages of government funds, while also advising states to embrace the policy of indexing income to correspond with the rate of inflation. He, however, urged state governments to implement the new wage to improve the standard of living of their citizens, since the incomes of state governments have continued to rise following enhanced allocation from the Federal Account Allocation Committee, FAAC. Turned violence in the north. The CP also announced the arrest and prosecution of 150 suspects for violating the curfew enforced by the Kano state government. The Nigeria Immigration Service has revealed that the Nigerian woman named Favour Igebo, who tore up her husband's passport at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, could face a jail term as punishment for her actions. The NIS also disclosed that it had launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the destruction of the man's passport, stating that she had been summoned for questioning. In a statement, the spokesperson for the NIS, Kenneth Udo, described Igebo's action as a violation of Nigerian law, which could lead to her facing a jail term if found guilty of violating the Nigeria Immigration Service Act of 2015 as amended. Coming up next is news from the international scene, as well as entertainment and sports stories. Please stay tuned. You are still tuned into news at noon on Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM. Tech billionaire Elon Musk has blamed the technical issues that marred his interview of Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump yesterday on a cyber attack. The lengthy conversation, which Mr. Musk said was aimed at open-minded independent voters, began more than 40 minutes late as many users struggled to gain access. Mr. Musk, who owns X, formerly Twitter, said a distributed denial of service attack saturated all of their data lines. From the world of entertainment, Nigerian artists Tems and Rema have earned spots on Barack Obama's highly anticipated 2024 summer playlist. The playlist, which was curated by the former U.S. president, features a diverse mix of international and domestic artists and was announced via his X handle. It includes Tems' track Love Me Jeje from her debut album, while Rema's Yayo from his sophomore album Ace also makes the cut, having topped the charts in Greece and amassed over 60 million streams on Spotify. From the world of sports, the Professional Footballers Association (PFA) has unveiled its nominees for the Players' Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year, with Manchester City's trio of Erling Haaland, Phil Foden and Rodri on the list. Chelsea's Cole Palmer, who joined the club from Manchester City at the start of last season, makes the list. The Young Player of the Year nominees were also released, with Palmer also making the list once again, alongside Bukayo Saka and Man United Kobe Manu. The winner of the PFA Awards will be announced on the 20th of August in a ceremony that will be held in the city of Manchester. Before we end the news at noon on Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM, here is a quick recap. The Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, ASCSN, has threatened to stop the activities of states that refuse to implement the 70,000 naira new national minimum wage. The Nigeria Immigration Service has revealed that the Nigerian woman named Favour Igebo, who tore up her husband's passport at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, could face a jail term as punishment for her actions. Tech billionaire Elon Musk has blamed the technical issues that marred his interview of Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump yesterday on a cyber attack. The Professional Footballers Association (PFA) has unveiled its nominees for the Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year, with Manchester City's trio of Erling Haaland, Phil Foden and Rodri on the list. For more information on Omoluwabi Radio, please follow us on all our social media handles. On Facebook at Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM. On Instagram, TikTok and X at Omoluwabi 877 FM. The news was produced by Olaleye Komalafe. I am Stephanie Bamigboye. Thank you for listening and good afternoon.
Ẹ̀kásán ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ́yín láti ìkànnì ọmọlúàbí 87.7 FM. Èmi ni Daniel Fásànyà. Ṣáájú ẹgbẹ́ àwọn kókó inú ìròyìn fún ti ọ̀sán òní. Àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba ń dúnkokò láti ṣe àtìpa àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ó kùnà lórí owó ọ̀yà àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tí ó kéré jùlọ. Látàrí àsíá orílẹ̀-èdè Russia, àwọn ọlọ́pàá gbé àwọn afurasí lọ sí Àbújá gbèrò àwọn ìfẹ̀sùnkàn ìṣọ̀tẹ̀. Ní ilẹ̀ òkèèrè, Musk sọ pé ìfọ̀rọ̀wánilẹ́nuwò Trump ni wọ́n fojú sí nípasẹ̀ ìkọlù orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára. Lágbọ̀n aré ìdárayá, Haaland, Palmer, Foden di yíyàn fún àmì ẹ̀yà agbábọ́ọ̀lù tí ó dára jùlọ. Wọ̀nyí àti àwọn ìròyìn mìíràn nípọ́n yóò máa súnkàn lẹ́yìn ìṣẹ́nukù ráńpẹ́ yìí. Ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ. Ẹ káàbọ̀, ìròyìn ọ̀hún rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Ẹgbẹ́ ti àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba àgbà ti orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ASCSN ti dúnkokò láti dá àwọn iṣẹ́ sí àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ó kọ̀ láti ṣe ìmúṣẹ ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà àádọ́rin náírà gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó ọ̀yà tuntun tí ó kéré jù lọ lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí dúró. Ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀hún Shehu Mohammed sọ èyí lánàá lákòókò àpéjọ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn aṣojú ẹlẹ́ẹ̀márùn-ún ọlọ́dọọdún ti ẹlẹ́ẹ̀karùn-ún ní ìlú Èkó, níbi tí ó ti di ààrẹ tuntun ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀hún. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ó ti sọ, ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ náà lè ṣe àṣeyọrí èyí nípa ìdínkù àwọn àìṣedéédé àti ìdínàmọ́ àwọn owó ìjọba tí ó ń ṣòfò lákòókò tí ó tún gba àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ níyànjú láti gba ètò ìmúlò tí a tọ́ka owó àpawọlé láti ṣe déédé pẹ̀lú òṣùwọ̀n ti ọ̀wọ́n gógó. Àmọ́ ṣá, ó wá rọ àwọn ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ láti ṣe ìmúṣẹ owó ọ̀yà tuntun náà àti mú ìlọsíwájú ìgbé ayé tí àwọn ará ìpínlẹ̀ wọn dára sí i nítorí àwọn owó tó ń wọlé tí àwọn ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ ti tẹ̀síwájú láti dìde lẹ́yìn ìpínfúnni ìmúdára láti ọ̀dọ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń pín owó ìjọba àpapọ̀ FAAC. ẹ̀wẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Kano ti ṣe àfihàn pé àwọn ti gbé àwọn afurasí mẹ́rìndínlọ́gọ́rin náà tí wọ́n mú fún gbígbé àsíá orílẹ̀-èdè Russia pẹ̀lú ọmọ ilẹ̀ òkèèrè kan sí olú iléeṣẹ́ ọ̀hún ní Àbújá fún ìwádìí tó gbọ̀ngbọ́n lórí ẹ̀sùn ìṣọ̀tẹ̀. Kọmíṣánná ọlọ́pàá náà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kano Salma Garba sọ èyí di mímọ̀ lásìkò tí ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn afurasí tí wọ́n mú lásìkò ìfẹ̀hónúhàn ibi jákèjádò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tí ó di ìwà ipá ní apá àríwá. Ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá náà kò ṣàìtúnkéde ìfòfinmúni àti ìfẹ̀sùnkàn àwọn àádọ́jọ afurasí fún ìrúfin gbélé ẹ̀ tí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kano fi léde. wàyí o àjọ tó ń rí sí ìwọléwọ̀de lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ti fi hàn pé obìnrin ọmọ orílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà tí orúkọ rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Favour Igiebor tó fa ìwé ìrìnnà ọkọ rẹ̀ ya ní pápákọ̀ òfurufú àgbáyé ti Muritala Mohammed lè kojú ẹ̀wọ̀n gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìjìyà fún ìwà rẹ̀. NIS náà tún ṣàlàyé pé iléeṣẹ́ ọ̀hún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwádìí lórí àwọn ipò tí ó wà ní àyíká ìparun ti ìwé ìrìnnà ọkùnrin ọ̀hún ní sísọ pé wọ́n ti pè é fún ìbéèrè. Nínú ìfọ̀rọ̀lédè kan tí agbẹnusọ fún NIS Kenneth Udo ó ṣe àpèjúwe ìgbésẹ̀ Igiebor gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlòdì sí òfin Nàìjíríà èyí tí ó lè mú kí ó dojúkọ àkókò ẹ̀wọ̀n tí ó bá jẹ̀bi pé ó rúfin òfin iṣẹ́ ìwọléwọ̀de ti Nàìjíríà ti ọdún 2015 gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe ṣe àtúnṣe rẹ̀. ìròyìn ilẹ̀ òkèèrè àgbò amúlùdùn àti agbọn àríyá lọ́pọ̀ yóò máa súnkàn lẹ́yìn ìṣẹ́nukù ráńpẹ́ yìí ẹ̀ máa bá wa ká lọ. ẹ káàbọ̀ padà ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí ló ń tẹ̀síwájú ní ìkànnì ọmọlúàbí 87.7 FM ilẹ̀ òkèèrè lọ́pọ̀ súnkàn. olówó ńlá ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ Elon Musk ti dá ẹ̀bi àwọn ọ̀ràn ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ tí ó bá ìfọ̀rọ̀wánilẹ́nuwò rẹ̀ tí olùdíje fún ipò ààrẹ lábẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Republic Donald Trump lánàá jẹ́ lórí ìkọlù orí ayélujára kan. Ìbáraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ gígùn náà èyí tí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Musk sọ pé ó ní ìfọkànsìn sí àwọn olùdìbò lómìnira bẹ̀rẹ̀ díẹ̀ sí ju àwọn ìṣẹ́jú 40 pẹ́jù bí àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn olùmúlò ṣe tiraka láti ní ìráàyè sí. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Musk tí ó ní ìkànnì abẹ́yẹfò X tí a mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ sí Twitter sọ pé kíkó àwọn iṣẹ́ tí a pín káàkiri ìyún DDoS kọlu gbogbo àwọn ojú àlà dátà àwọn ènìyàn. lágbo àríyá àwọn olórin ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà Tems àti Rema ti jèrè àwọn àyè lórí àkójọ orin ìgbà ooru 2024 tí ìrètí wà lórí rẹ̀ púpọ̀ tí ó jẹ́ ti Barack Obama. Àkójọ orin tí ó wà nípasẹ̀ ààrẹ Amẹ́ríkà tẹ́lẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n kójọ ó ṣe ẹ̀yà àkójọpọ̀ onírúurú tí àwọn òṣèré ìlú òkèrè àti ti abẹ́lé tí ó sì fi léde nípasẹ̀ ojú òpó ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ X rẹ̀. Ó pẹ̀lú orin Tems Love Me jẹ́jẹ́ láti inú àwo orin àkọ́kọ́ rẹ̀ nígbàtí orin Rema Yáyó láti inú àwo orin kejì rẹ̀ Ace tún pẹ̀lú àkójọpọ̀ náà tí ó ti wà ní òkè téńté àwọn àkójọpọ̀ ní Greece àti pé ó tún lékè àwọn orin bí 60 mílíọ̀nù lórí Spotify. ẹ̀wẹ̀ lágbọn aré ìdárayá ẹgbẹ́ àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù ilẹ̀ England ti ṣàfihàn àwọn ẹni yíyàn rẹ̀ fún àwọn ẹgbẹ́ náà fún àmì ẹ̀yẹ ti ọdún yìí ti agbábọ́ọ̀lù àti ọ̀dọ́mọdé agbábọ́ọ̀lù tí ó ṣe dáadáa jùlọ pẹ̀lú àwọn mẹ́ta láti Manchester City bíi Erling Haaland, Phil Foden àti Rodri lórí àtòkọ̀ náà. Cole Palmer àti Chelsea tí ó darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ agbábọ́ọ̀lù náà láti Manchester City ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ sáà tó kọjá wà nínú àtòkọ̀ náà. Àwọn ẹni yíyan agbábọ́ọ̀lù ọ̀dọ́mọdé ti ọdún yìí tí wọ́n tú sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Palmer ti tún wà nínú àtòkọ̀ ọ̀hún lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i tí ó tún wà nínú àtòkọ̀ ọ̀hún lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀ ní Bukayo Saka àti Kobe Mahino ti Manchester United. Olùborí ti àwọn àmì ẹ̀yẹ PFA ni wọ́n yóò kéde ní 20 oṣù kẹjọ níbi ayẹyẹ kan tí yóò wáyé ní ìlú Manchester. Pẹ̀lú ìròyìn aré ìdárayá yìí ní a fi dé òpin ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí fún ti òní ní ìkànnì ọmọlúàbí 87.7 FM. Àmọ́ kí a tó máa lọ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn àrígbámú ọ̀hún lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Ẹgbẹ́ ti àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba àgbà ti orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ASCSN ti dúnkokò láti dá àwọn iṣẹ́ dúró ní àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ó kọ̀ láti ṣe